Hey traders, how you doing? Peter here with Forte Trader, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the true cost of what it takes to be trading futures. Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. Peter here. And the question has come up all the time that people ask me, what is the true cost it would take? And I want to have that answer for people, what the true cost it is, what it would really take out of pocket up front without the overall cost, but just the true, what it would cost on a one-time basis up front and what it's going to cost over an annual course of time to be trading the futures markets. This video is dedicated to the futures markets. In the commodity markets, I'm not talking about stocks here, so this is a little bit more relative to that. Generally, you'll find the information to be the same across the board, but some things are different with the stocks. There's different rules of engagement, so therefore you might have to have more or less money. So the true cost of futures trading is pretty relatively simple. Now, first I'm going to talk about it, discuss it, then we'll go up on the board here and I'll break down some fees so you have an idea visually. But there's about three main tools. In any business, you need tools. And when you start getting into self-directed trading, for whatever reason brought you here into wanting to learn self-directed trading and manage your own money and make some extra money, for whatever reason, we all have our different reasons and stuff, right, that we're doing this. And since 2010, I got behind the screen, behind the charts, and I had a real big passion myself about charts. But everyone has their reason. The point here isn't about my story, but there's a cost, right, to be trading futures. So the main tools, just like in any business, a trader should have is a really good charting platform, a really good broker that puts your orders in and out for you, and generally, depending on what you're trading, if you know what you're trading, if there's a good screening app out there, a good screener that can help you with back tests and stuff like that and save you a ton of time. So these three things mostly, and then there's going to be some stuff that don't have a true cost to them that I'll discuss at the end. And now brokers generally will combine charts because they want you to trade, they want you to direct your money and focus your attention just on pushing money through their brokerage. They do charge you commissions and stuff that we'll discuss too, but their goal is to have you trade through there. They might not be chart experts, and we've through the years experienced this over and over again. Recently in my coaching program, we've had to make a new sense of direction on who our brokers are and who we're going to chart with, because our brokers are great at brokering and they're great at providing us with the tools to enter these trades at really fast rates of speed, and they have specialty programs for us, because in my course we trade future spreads, and it's really hard to find brokers that are specialty boutique like that. And so, and the latency times are awesome, whether they're web-based or desktop-based. That's something you got to figure that out for yourself. Us as our team, we've come out to really finding now that brokers, and it's awesome, they're all adapting slowly to cloud-based services. So we're looking at cloud-based charting platforms that could be to your advantage, cloud-based brokerage services that could be to your advantage. So when you're traveling around, or you might have a computer crash, if you're traveling around the world, you might not be a traveler, or some of these guys that travel around the world and trade like I do with my wife. You might just be really super part-time, you're from home. But what if that computer crashes? What if that computer has problems? Web-based programs are the way to go these days. I highly recommend them because they're easy to access. They save all your data in the cloud, and you can plug and play from anybody's computer if you have to. Okay, so keep that one in mind. Actually, a good point that I brought up: web-based platforms, web-based brokers. So a really good charting program that's come up in the last few years, they're up and coming, and they do a lot of IB introducing the brokers too, is TradingView. I use TradingView for charting. It costs about 15 bucks a month on average for a regular pro plan, and about 180 bucks a year more or less. Depending on what you pick, it can get a little bit more expensive. So that's charting. Okay, so we're going to need to talk about that. Our screener that we use, because we're technical traders, but we also, our main thing is seasonality as well. So we'll use seasonality because we're able to use a screener that costs about 45 bucks a month to back test about 60 plus years worth of data in most cases. So it saves us so much time back testing data, and then we combine that with technical. So what I do in my particular case, and my students and stuff in my coaching program is I teach technical and seasonal trading combined. We'll use one or the other as a condition. We'll stack the conditions together along with some different things with momentum, and we'll go from there. So we're just stacking conditions using technicals and seasonals, but we're using the screener, and there's a cost to that, and it costs about 45 bucks a month. I've made about 30 to 40% a year on my money for the last 4 years in a row using this screener to get an edge and save me time in making decisions in combination with my technical training that I know, my knowledge. So you have the screeners that you'd have to pay for, and we're going to break this down here in a little bit. And then you're going to have your broker. Now, depending on who your broker is, depending on what you're trading, there's data fees, and you have to pay data fees to play. The exchange charges it to the brokers return roll the fee over to you. They're not cheap, some of them. Most of them generally are, but with our products that we trade in the futures markets, all of our Chicago Mercantile Exchange, our Globex, NYMEX bundles, most brokers will charge you about $25 a month for that. Well, fortunately, through my program and the broker I deal with, TradeStation, we have an agreement, and there's something special there with them. Actually, it's not even just a personal agreement. It's a general thing they have with the public, by the way. They don't charge you the data fees for those particular things. But when you get into extended types of commodities, you could be paying as much as $110 a month for stuff that's in the New York ICE exchange. If you want to trade any of the soft edible stuff like orange juice, cotton, cocoa, and these kind of things of this nature, you're going to be generally having to pay a fee for that data. So we're going to add these up again in a little bit. Lastly, a coaching system. If you're new to the game, you've seen a lot of coaching programs out there. I have a coaching program. I only charge a few $100 for it, but there's a lot of people. I've spent over 30 grand since 2010, the first several years, hopping from school to school like most people do. And most people out there do charge that. So you need to really do your homework and research on what is it you think you want to learn, what is it you think you want to work with, because it all comes down at the end of the day to your psychology too. So you're only going to know that from a little bit of experience first, dabbling. That's how we all end up. We end up dabbling with different kind of training methods because we have to discover our own personality. So you kind of have to, you'll probably go through a couple of coaching systems to find out, again, in lineage with your psychology, what's going to work out for you, who's going to work out best to train you, the method you need to learn for your psychology or in your time schedule. Because the personality trait of a trader, everybody's different. I can teach 5 different people the same thing at the same time. Most people may get it all differently. Okay, so this is just how we are. And some people may not like it. Some people, it might work for 1 out of 5 people. Because that's just, I don't know, I can't predict the psychology of a person that comes in. So that's just how that works. So definitely consider one of the one-time costs as into your budget, okay? And lastly, your upfront opening your account. A lot of people years ago would say, but only, you can day trade with the $500 futures account. Well, day trade margins cost $500, but as soon as that margin you start losing money, you're super over leveraged, and it's not realistic to be telling people anymore you start with $500. I would say comfortably have about $2,500 to $3 grand saved up and load up into your account. It's not going to go anywhere. Depending on your broker, if you don't do any activities or you don't trade with it, it's okay. They're not going to take an inactivity fee or money out of that account. They're just going to sit there. With our brokers that we work with, it just sits there. And that way you can have your account open, you can start learning through your coaching program and start simulate trading to get familiar with your platform and familiar with the system, and start seeing, is the market structure you're putting together fitting for you? Is it working? And things like that. So you'll need an initial one-time investment, a realistic amount of a few grand. I understand in the futures markets, there's a lot of high net worth traders out there. I don't want people to think that are disadvantaged by little money that it's impossible. It's very possible to learn this, and what ends up happening most of the time, even in the Forex communities, is you'll learn this thing. If you do really well, you'll find different ways to incrementally grow your account, and because it'll motivate you if you become successful and you stick at it. So there's that physical investment cost, right? Taking action, being consistent, which we'll talk about last. I already gave it away. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and put down this desk here, and let me go ahead and just break it down here again. The cost of trading, how it looks like on an annual basis. Okay, so for you to just have a realistic idea. So the first thing we talked about was charting. Okay, charting. This marker's probably not thick enough. Bear with me until the next video or something. I spend about 15 bucks a month, more or less. I use TradingView. There's a link for TradingView if you guys want to do a free trial at the bottom of this video. It's free for 30 days. A little secret, if you wait for 2 weeks during the demo, you'll get an email for 50% off the first year. Just a little secret. Hopefully TradingView's not watching this video. So on an annual basis, we'll add these up actually in a little bit here. The screener that I'm using, there's a name for it I won't directly share right now just for whatever reasons. It's about 45 bucks a month. That's monthly. And hey, it's the cost it takes me. It's like an advisor. Once I learn how to use this, I don't need a financial advisor. I'm self-directing my money. I got to get the tools to become good at directing my money. So it's one of the more expensive costs, but you know, you're doing, this is a business, guys. You're a broker, okay? Now, most brokers will charge Chicago bundle fee for all the futures markets, all the equities, indices, all your interest rate futures, 25 bucks a month. In my case, we're not paying that. We're with TradeStation. So there's no cost there. However, because I am a professional trader and I do trade the ICE exchange stuff, I pay $110 a month. No, most people I know do not pay this. They do not trade softs. But I trade cotton, I trade cocoa, I trade coffee and stuff like that too when I see an opportunity. Even a couple of times a year, I make enough where it covers that. So this is optional. We can keep this out, but we'll talk about it. We can add it later into the one whole big thing. Okay, one-time costs. Okay, you're looking at the one-time cost like I spoke about. In my case, I charge $297 plus tax now because that's just the way the government came down on us this last year, and so I have to start charging tax. So if you're in the United States, but this can range, depending on who your coaching system is, several grand. But I don't believe in that, and so that's what we charge. And about, I would say, let's just highball it, about $3 grand to open up your account. So this money doesn't go anywhere. This is your money until you start trading and putting on some risk on the table and stuff. After you're done practicing, that's your money. It's not really going anywhere. I just recommend you load up the account. Now you can open accounts with as little as 500 bucks. That'll at least open up the tools for you while you're loading up more money or saving up more money and things like that. If that's all you have, you can do it with that. Our brokers will let you open that account. They'll give you access to the data, the platform, also the app. All right, we had a little camera glitch there. So this is my first time using this Canon, so we got to make sure that we get the correct battery source, the power source for it. We're running on one battery. So, all right, so that's about it. I hope this wraps this up for now. I want to leave you guys with this. Let's add this up real quick. 15 bucks a month. It's going to cost you about 180 bucks on an annual basis for your charting. You're going to get excellent charting through TradingView. 45 bucks a month. You're going to probably look around 540 bucks a year annually. And you don't even have to pay for your brokerage platform these days. And you don't have to pay for your data fees if you go through the ones that we have through TradeStation. So you're just paying them commissions of as low as like $1.50 a contract plus exchange fees once you're ready to trade. Your initial fee of 297 bucks for your coaching through us at least, or whoever you desire. If you go through my coaching course, our TradeStation brokerage has a code because we partner with them, and they'll actually give you commission credits back as a full rebate for this whole thing. 100% of this, you'll get it back once you start trading. As they'll give you partial credits on every trade until you get that back. So that's another plus. Not trying to make this a sales thing for my camp, guys. Do whatever you want to do. But this is just to estimate to give you guys a cost and your general initial investment in your trading, which it's still your money. It's not going nowhere. but you're paying for these tools. So you're paying about, in this case, more or less, um, 720 bucks a year in costs now, electronic costs away from just having a decent computer, okay, and that's about it. So let's talk about my last thing that's very important here. Let's get this desk back up here. So I hope that helped. It's realistic. I've done it every year. I reset to prove a small account. I have a large account and I have a small account. That way I share this account on social media. So if anyone wants to try to extort that little account and sees that account number, I don't care. That's what I reset with every year on that note, to teach people to have a live account that I teach off of, and it works. Last thing, that's a big investment from you guys that actually has no out-of-pocket expense, but it can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, or just one time blow you out and you end up being one of the people that leave and say that trading is gambling and doesn't work. You have to be consistent with learning, okay? You got to be patient, okay? Obviously, it's just like in anything else, but the biggest ingredient, guys, cost is taking massive action, okay? Let me tell you why that's really important. Taking massive action, I understand how hard it can be when you have different things going on in your life. You have this desire to learn something completely new. Whether you're a professional, a doctor, a PhD, or a service person, blue collar, wherever background you're coming from, when you're adding a new thing in your life to try to make money or manage your money, it's work. And I understand because I have the same issues. But only when I've taken massive action is something I've seen results in. A lot of you guys out there know this. So just someone's giving you a friendly reminder that that's the one biggest expense it's going to cost to learn trading and be good at trading, is taking massive action, being consistent. It wasn't until I started my coaching program that I got better, because the more people ask me questions, it makes me go and find answers if I don't know them, and it helps me figure out ways to be more precise and more useful with the information I provide to help that person, so I don't steer them the wrong way, and I hold their hand and guide them through. So it makes me a better person, and it helped me to actually start having students help me take more massive action. Having that responsibility made me become more responsible, because just like we have jobs, we're very prone to going and working for other people, but then we can't invest on our own business. And when there's a little bit of a cost to a business, we look at it like it's larger than life. But there's so many businesses out there, brick and mortar businesses, that you can start up, and it's going to take a lot of money, a lot more than this. You're going to be tied to a physical location, insurance premiums, employees. Believe me, guys, I know I had a business out here that rolled over on me. It was just getting too much pressure. So I've had things that work. I have had things that don't. I'm a human being, so I understand the cost of doing business out on anything, even just a general little business, John Cullen business, house cleaning business. You have to pay costs, and once you leave outside that door, you're at risk every day. So, I think that the investment on trading is very cost effective. It's low barrier of entry, and if you really put in the massive action and be consistent, that's all the true cost is of trading. So I hope you guys found this thing helpful. By the way, if you could help me, if you're new here, by liking and subscribing, at least like it. If you don't even put a thumb up and tell me why, at least let the Facebook algorithm know this way that our video is reaching people and our content is reaching people, and that it's helping, at least so we can get, how that works. Hopefully most of you guys know that. So if you don't mind, go ahead and do that and ask me any questions you like, and hope to see you guys soon. Thank you very much for watching.